I first read that, it kind of gave me a different outlook or a different concept of what it meant to be a millionaire. Because, growing up, you always just think of millionaires like, oh, they got all this money. A millionaire is somebody that's flying private and all this.
Yeah.
And like, you get to a million, you're like, no, it's none of that.
Well, especially now. Like
Especially
you said,
now.
maybe in the late 90s.
I think our initial number where we can kind of like not hit the brakes, but kind of let off the gas a little bit is going to be about 10 million. So Decamillionaire.
Welcome back to the Broke Billionaires, where we document our daily struggles in building wealth while raising a young family. Join us as we talk creative wealth building for everyday people and couples that are struggling in a down economy. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Joshua Masari, and we'll be your hosts.
Welcome back to the Broke Millionaires.
Another late night.
You have some scotch. I drink a cup of coffee. I'm going to try really hard to keep myself awake this time. Got a little challenging last week.
I feel like we keep starting later and later. Just like
yeah, we are.
Busier and busier.
We really are.
Thought this was supposed to get easier.
You thought things were going to get easier with a newborn?
Yeah. I don't know. Although this has been the easiest newborn transition that we've gone through. Still not easy.
I still think 2 to 3 was the easiest.
No. That girl was so hard.
What? Oh, with the sleep.
The sleep.
I was going to say she was the easiest baby.
Oh, the easy. Yeah, but the sleeping was not easy. She was the most difficult at night.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Sleeping wise.
Yeah.
I will say though, everyone who says 3 to 4, you don't feel it after 3 kids. There's definitely, it's more chaotic for sure. And it's probably the ages of our kids probably play heavily into that. 4 kids, 5 and under is no joke.
Are those Irish quadruplets?
I don't
think
thing? So. Irish twins were in the same year.
But when you
I think 4 under 4 would be.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We missed that a little bit.
So we're not that crazy.
We're not that crazy. Yeah. But you know what is crazy? Moving with 4 kids when being a 5-week-old. That's crazy.
While finishing up construction on a project, while working, while doing a podcast, and all the other
in 4 days
going on.
That's no joke. I know everyone says we're not crazy, but like they don't know how we do it. I don't know how we do it either right now.
We're not really fully doing everything. We're kind of falling short.
Nothing's getting 100% right now, that's for sure. But moving with the 4 kids, one being 5 weeks old, is challenging to say the least.
Yeah, luckily we are not doing a 1-day move where we have to pack up, cram, and then go. Like we've got a little bit of time. We got about a 2. Well,
we buffered some.
2 week, but not quite
we buffered some time.
Yeah,
and it's close. It's like a 2-minute drive, so that helps a lot.
So we got like a week and a half to kind of. We've been doing a couple loads a day, just kind of. It's a slow burn.
Yeah, slow burn's a good phrase for that, but it's happening. So 4 days officially. So close.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, actually.
We save on tuition for a month.
Oh, I didn't even say that part about summer break.
Kicks in.
You jumped right into it.
Oh, jeez.
We're just skipping around. Our summer break officially begins also the day we move, I guess.
Oh. Yeah.
I was still talking about the move.
I was talking about for 4 days. Oh, 3 days. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Our son's school gets out late, so we are officially...
Moving in 3 days, school's out in 3. Or
yeah.
Moving in 4, school's out in 3 days. Got a lot going on this week. It's been...
Yes. A lot.
Whirlwind. So, the school thing, we got the kids full-time now, all of them, for the summer. But you and me, I still put them to bed, get them up.
Yeah, but that's no different than during the school year.
That is true.
You're not with them all day.
All right, fine.
I have them 24/7 for the next till September.
You make it sound like I just like leave for the day and just go play golf all day or something.
No, thank goodness for that. Thank goodness you don't golf. I actually said that tonight in our life group. It's like, honestly, thank goodness he doesn't have that hobby. No, I know you're very helpful. You are. But you are gone during the day most days. You've been home actually more lately.
Yeah, he's moving.
Yeah. That's true.
Not by choice.
That's true.
I'm getting behind at work, so it's just going at it. We're recording this at 10:45 or starting this at 10:40 at night, recording, and then I'll probably be up at 4 a.m. to go to the warehouse to get caught up on some shipping stuff for tomorrow, because tomorrow's going to be a crazy day again.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Well, hoping that this move will be good for us financially.
Let's hope.
Let's hope. We can hope and we can pray, because we are really at the end of our rope.
Yeah.
In so many ways.
Yeah. Mentally, physically,
all the way.
Financially, all the things. Yeah, we're definitely just nothing's happened. No money's come in. We haven't had any capital events happen. Everything just keeps getting postponed or turned away, and just nothing's happening. And we're still bleeding money every month. The business hasn't picked up to where it's, I'm still not taking a paycheck. We're now almost officially halfway through the year, and I haven't taken a paycheck. I am getting paid family leave right now, because technically I'm on paid family leave, which means I still work for free just as much, but I get a little bit of a stipend for doing that. So, I paid into it, but now I'm taking advantage of that. So I do have 8 weeks now. California is now 8 weeks of paid family leave.
Oh yeah, it was 6 before.
So that's a little bit of grocery money and moving money and everything else that we need money for.
Yeah.
Doesn't covers about a tenth of our expenses. But at least it's a little something.
Hey, it's something. Nothing. Yep.
We've been getting a whole lot of nothing lately.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But the project is finally...
I feel like we've been saying this for a long time.
But now we have our first guest checking in this coming week. And so now it has to be done.
Yes.
So this is like the final push to get everything completed. We got, the post-construction cleaning going on Monday, and then Tuesday morning or midday we'll be getting pictures. We don't have pictures of the place yet. It's already rented. And then we have the first guest checking in that afternoon. And they'll be there for at least 2 months. I think 60 days or 61 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we're there almost.
Another down to the wire.
We still have
I think that's just how we like to operate.
2 permits that need to get signed off. I was digging a hole out there this morning, and then I got to go tomorrow morning and finish digging out the meter so we can get that upgraded and get that signed off. And then Thursday is the final inspection for the outdoor kitchen, which doesn't have countertops, but I got all the electrical done, all the plumbing, all the gas lines that are under test right now and ready to be signed off. And so hopefully we'll get that final sign off. And then the only thing missing is the countertops, which have already been measured, and they're supposed to get installed on Sunday, 2 days before these guests check in.
Literally down to the wire.
This is we're usually last minute, putting together furniture and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, we don't usually have construction going on.
Now we're literally waiting on the countertops to get fabricated and installed. The inside's done. The inside's already signed off, but still little touch-ups. But this last push in the outdoor, which the outdoor kitchen is not, it's pretty cool. It's going to be a really elaborate outdoor space. We got this giant 12-foot farm table with 4 benches and seats 18 people, and this champagne island with an 80-inch TV out there, and then
it's a great entertaining house.
A 12-inch barbecue island with barbecue, underneath a covered patio. It's got like a range hood and everything. And then there's an outdoor fridge, and then there's an ice box additional from the champagne trough, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, I think that is actually what it's called.
Like a little ice trough.
Yeah.
And then we got the barbecue or the s'more pit put in. So we got a pretty cool s'more, like a fire bowl, which we got a really good deal on. It was
You've been finding a lot of good deals.
I've been finding a lot of good deals on finishing up the construction on this, just helping out with the budget. So these fire pits are not expensive, or not cheap. They are expensive. Slight. Got like basically a factory direct. It's like a factory second. I don't know. There's supposed to be some scratches on it or something. I don't know. They restained it before I showed up and like retouched it.
I was gonna say, I can't tell.
Yeah, I don't know where. It was probably a return or something because of a scratch, and somebody paid $2,500 for it, and they touched up the scratch, and I bought it for like $850, so third of the price. Pretty happy about that. We got these super cool modern Adirondack chairs around it, so it's like this really cool in the back corner of the property where we put concrete down in this little square area, so it's like a perfect little s'more hangout spot.
S'more pit,
I guess. Yeah. So that's cool. We finally, I think we talked about this a few months ago.
We
the
should
tree
leave
fell
s'more
down.
stuff. I just got an idea.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say we should do
that. Should be like a welcome package.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
Okay.
The tree that fell down when we were redoing the landscaping in the front recently.
R.I.P. to that tree.
We finally found a replacement tree. I've been looking for trees all over.
Trees are expensive also, if you don't know.
And well, so we wanted
a mature tree is expensive.
Yeah, we wanted an olive tree, and the specific type of olive tree I want is called a Swan Hill, which is, of course, the most expensive olive tree you can get, but it's a true fruitless. There's a lot of fruitless varieties out there, but they're not technically fruitless. They still bear fruit and still make a mess. But this one's like completely 100% no fruit. So little fruit that they can't even reproduce because they don't produce fruit. That's where the seeds come from to reproduce. So the only way they are able to do these is they take an existing Swan Hill and graft that branch onto an existing stump, basically a little stump.
So crazy.
That's how they have to reproduce, because you can't reproduce without fruit. So found after looking at all these different options that were expensive and finding some budget ones, basically from $2,500 down to a budget one of like $900. And it was not a perfect one. It was like a big chunk of a branch was broken off. So it was basically the price. We were going to do that one. And then I ended up coming across a little, actually the gardener referred me to this little nursery in like the middle of Santa Ana. It was like this little place you would never know about unless you knew about it. And they happened to have one of these that was sitting there for a couple of years, and they only wanted $300 for it. I was like, why is it so cheap? I'm like, that's really cheap.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, this is, people don't spend money around here, so they don't want to spend $300 on a tree. I was like, definitely worth more than that. And so I couldn't find a better deal, and it wasn't as full as I wanted or as big as I wanted, but for $300, it's a great looking tree, and we're just going to make that one work.
Yeah, I think it's going to look awesome.
It's a good looking tree. It's just a little smaller than we wanted, but I think it'll be fine.
Yeah. The one we really wanted, or the size we would have really wanted, was very expensive.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at $2,500 to get like a pretty mature tree, but it'll mature. It'll be fine.
Good.
I mean, we don't live at the house, so we're not going to have to look at it every day and be like, oh, I wish we got a bigger tree. Every time we drive by or go over to turn over, we may be like, but also not being there every day, when we come back, be like, oh, new branches. It's going to look like it's growing faster. Like
the banana plants, those will do the same thing.
Oh, yes. Yes, we've been doing a lot of planting, getting the landscaping all finished up.
Lots of planting.
And another thing, the patio, which looked really terrible because we had a bunch of brick that we jackhammered.
I think we talked about this last week, looking for tile.
So we were trying to find tile and trying to get the tile with an outdoor suitable tile, and it was just proving to be more difficult than we expected. And of course, the one tiles that are meant for outside with the color and the style we wanted, couldn't find a good deal.
Again, more expensive.
So we ended up having our tile contractor float the space because it was all uneven and it was kind of sloping towards the house. So we had them float it and prep it as if it was going to be for tile, but just kind of smooth it out and do a smooth finish. And then we're just going to call it a day. And it kind of looks like, doesn't look like smooth concrete, but it's pretty good.
I'm happy with how it looks.
Yeah, it's got a good color.
Mm-hmm.
It looks good with the house. I mean, it costs half of what we would have, even with a cheap tile, it probably spent about half of what we would have spent on doing tile. And it's just a good.
Well, and there was still the brick out front and parts of the walkway. So it was already kind of bothering me that there was going to be tile mixed with the brick. So now I think it's just a little more cohesive right now.
And it worked for now. It was quick and easy and inexpensive. It was a one-day
job. That was a good fix.
That was like one of the last things we needed to get done aesthetically for the curb appeal.
Yeah, it looks
well, actually, the tree was the last thing. That was the second to last.
Yeah. Looks good, though.
Yeah. Just a quick disclaimer. The information shared on this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered as financial, tax, or legal advice. Always consult with a qualified professional before making any financial decisions. Your individual circumstances may differ and require specific strategies not discussed here. Now, let's get back to the show.
So tonight we're talking about The Millionaire Next Door.
So The Millionaire Next Door, I read this book probably the early 2000s, I want to say, probably coming out of college. I was probably like 2000, well, maybe mid 2000s. I think I graduated in 06, and it was probably towards the end of so I'd say like 2005, 2006.
I can't remember if I've read this book or if I've just heard you talk about it so much that I feel like I've read it.
Maybe.
I can't remember.
I think I might have given you a copy. I don't know if you read it or not.
I don't know. My sales day.
I feel like you did.
I was reading a lot then.
But
when I had time.
Yeah, so basically the Millionaire Next Door is the idea that you can't always pick out who the millionaires are because they look just like your neighbor next door and you would never know how much wealth they have. Now, I will say this book was originally written in 1998. That was almost 30 years ago now, so it might not be as impactful of a title because being a millionaire in the late 90s was a lot more rare than it is today.
Yeah.
With inflation and everything, $1 million doesn't go as far today as it did back then. So, if you
also probably not written in Newport Beach, California.
Yeah. So where we live, it may not be as impactful, but I mean, you could just the concept is the same. You could say the multimillionaire or.
Well, I was going to say, or to that point,
the 8-figure millionaire.
To that point, there's a lot of people who look like they're millionaires around here who are not.
Right. And we'll get into that. So that's kind of what it is. It's like you see a lot of people that look wealthy.
Yeah.
But they may have a good paying job. Maybe they make $500,000 a year or more, but they may make $500,000, but they also spend $500,000 a year. And so they're not actually building wealth. They may be rich, but they're just spending all their money and they're not actually building wealth, and they're never working towards becoming financially free. But they've got, the fancy cars and the fancy watches and the jewelry and the clothes and fancy vacations all the time and all the things that may look wealthy, but they're just living paycheck to paycheck. But then on the other side, you've got people that have taken the time to build wealth and become financially free, and maybe they don't work anymore because they are financially free, but they're still driving that Honda Accord that they've had for 15 years. And, we keep our cars for a long time too. It's not something that we don't have to have the latest and greatest. We're not getting a new car every 2 years. When you're doing that, you're either leasing and you're not ever paying anything down, or you're just trading in and rolling negative equity over and going backwards because it's a depreciating asset.
Yeah.
So it's just, getting caught up in that versus taking the time to build wealth and not placing so much importance in materialistic things.
So let's tell the listeners about this book.
So the book highlights 7 common traits among self-made millionaires. So this is not talking about people that are born into wealth. These are self-made millionaires that have created a business or just had a job and worked for, the corporate ladder or worked for somebody, whatever it may be, and, put money away, bought assets and just built up wealth themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest one that they found, so they interviewed a whole bunch of millionaires. And one of the biggest traits that they found was that all of them tend to live below their means, which I feel like on the other side, people that look the part don't live below their means. They're always living above their means, and they're always chasing that next thing and stretching themselves. Like they get a raise, so they buy a bigger house or get a new car, and they're constantly spending as much as they make.
We saw that on Friends and Neighbors. He talks exactly about that in the first episode.
Oh, yeah.
When he kind of goes through like...
And broke again.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But these guys were making...
so much money.
Yeah, like, big 7-figure salaries and just spending everything that they had to keep up with the Joneses, basically. So this trait that people are living below their means, they are prioritizing saving and investing over spending. A lot of times they're driving older, reliable cars, living in modest homes. That's the idea, is that it's the millionaire next door. They're just living in a regular neighborhood with everybody else, not living, in the fancy neighborhood with all the people that are supposedly wealthy or rich, right? They're just living in a modest home that they're able to pay down quickly or pay off, or just a low payment to where it's manageable and well below their means, and able to continue to build wealth that way. So, we've talked about living below your means. I know we talked about the percentages and trying to keep your living expenses at 10%. And it's hard to do, especially today and, in places like big cities like California, a lot of the cities in California, New York, Chicago, all these different places. It's just cost of living has gotten expensive, and housing has gotten really expensive. So it's hard to do, but it's not impossible. But still, even living there, like we've got 3 properties in Costa Mesa, which is a nice town, nice-ish. It's like a stepping stone to Newport Beach, because it's not a beach town, and it's not where people, I don't know, I'm trying to say, it's like you maybe don't want to, like you want to live in Newport Beach, but you can't get there, so Costa Mesa is the closest you can get.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's revitalizing the area a lot, and it's as people are getting pushed out of Newport Beach because of the pricing, like you got a lot more money coming to Costa Mesa, and everything's kind of getting a bit more built up and getting turned over. And so it's definitely becoming in its own right, like a desirable place to be, but it wasn't always that way. And it's still like, there's still parts of it are definitely haven't been built up, and it's expensive because prices have gotten driven up. But we've got 3 properties here, whereas if we were to just sell all those, we could roll all that over and we could have a nice house in Newport Beach and live exactly where we wanted. But now we don't have those assets that are working for us,
right?
And so then now we're going to be strapped trying to make this payment on one property that's not generating income, and we don't know if the other one's generating income. I mean, ultimately that's where we're trying to get to, but our assets are going to pay for that Newport Beach home, not us.
Exactly.
So we're just taking a different route to get there. But again, this is, and a lot of these houses we'll live in these modest houses. We do a little more because we renovate them and then we turn them into pretty nice houses. And we put a lot of work, blood, sweat, and tears into these properties.
Yeah.
But what we're doing is we're buying in modest neighborhoods that are nice neighborhoods and have a good rental market. So we're being strategic on where we buy.
Because there are nice neighborhoods around here that don't have a good rental market. So we are strategic about that for sure.
But it's not, it's not ultimately where we want to be at. So
right.
We're living below our means. Maybe not right now, but
currently
we're trying. Well, actually, so that's a good point. We are actually going to be we're moving into one of the properties that has a very low interest rate with a mortgage that's $2,500 or $2,400.
Lowest.
This is the lowest out of all our properties. So it'll be the most manageable and about as below your means as you can get Costa Mesa or in California. Period.
There is no way we could find a rental for what this mortgage is at this.
Well, we rent it for double that. So it was just renting for over $5,000.
Right.
and that was below market. So
And
it's
this is a much smaller house. So
yeah.
when we talk about sacrifices,
yeah,
we're doing it.
I mean, we've got our properties are large. We got a 3,300 square foot house, a 2,400 square foot house, and then this 1,300 square foot house.
Yes.
So this is definitely the smallest of our properties. Even the rentals that we've had over the last year and a half that we've gone to, with the exception of one on Balboa Island, even the first Balboa Island.
The first one was bigger.
Was a lot bigger. And that was, and that was like a duplex and it was bigger.
Yeah.
So it's definitely going backwards on the whole square footage part.
Yeah.
But I mean, that is a sacrifice that we're making, but I think this is going to be good for us. It's going to be much more manageable on a monthly basis.
Definitely.
And I think it'll just help us kind of reset. At the same time, we're going to do plans on how we're going to redevelop this property before we start renting it out again. But I think it'll be good. Okay, so one of the other things that was a common trait that they found amongst these millionaires that they interviewed is that they're all efficient in allocating their resources. So they tend to carefully plan how they spend their time, their energy, their money, ensuring that the resources are used to build wealth. So everything that they're doing is strategic in building wealth, which I feel like we do in just about everything that we do, just about every purchase. Even our vehicles that we purchase. We do have some nicer vehicles, but they're very strategic in how we purchase them. They're purchased through a business depreciates them for 5 years and then transfers it to our trust, and then that becomes one of our personal vehicles. We've done that a couple times. We've got the family car we have now, which is a Model X, which is a nice vehicle. I mean, it's a $100,000 car. So it's very nice, and we've kept it in good condition. But it's an older car now. It's 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 2018. So it's 7 years old now, almost 8 years old. But it's still fine. It's got 50,000 miles. We got another 50,000 miles easily out of that, and it's paid off, and it looks nice. It doesn't look like an old car, but it's an old car. We tend to keep our cars for a very long time.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll probably use this until I don't know when.
Till we can't. I might be driving a Sprinter van after that. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see when all the kids are doing sports and everything. We need a little more space, but it's something that we plan on driving for. It was a 5-year business vehicle. And we planned on using it at least 5 years as a personal vehicle. So getting at least 10 years out of the vehicle, and hopefully even more.
Yeah.
But that's just one way that the way we buy our vehicles. And right now I've got a truck that the business is using as the corporate vehicle for deliveries and stuff. Once that's been completely depreciated, that will transfer to our trust, and that'll just be like my running around working on the house, truck and
maintenance truck.
Maintenance truck, yeah.
The handyman.
My handyman truck. But even just like, all the properties that we're buying, just everything that we do is very strategic in making sure that we're always building wealth. Our creative tax planning, everything that we do comes down to, is it building wealth for us? What's it doing for our future? So that's something that we focus highly on. Another one that's a big one is financial independence over social status. So some people, social status is very important, and that's more important to them than their actual financial situation. Is more like looking the part. People want to be a socialite, be respected in that way, or viewed that way, but not necessarily taking the approach of making sure that they're actually financially independent and working towards building that wealth.
Yeah.
So these people value, these millionaires they interviewed value the security and freedom that comes with financial independence more than displaying their wealth through material possessions. So, a lot of people, again, kind of going back to what we were talking about a little bit ago, with somebody that may make a lot of money and wants to look the part, keep up with the Joneses, have the newest car, have the newest jewelry and clothes, and they're just constantly spending money, but these things aren't building wealth. They're just materialistic things that really don't have, I mean, I guess some of them may have value, so if you need it, but they're not making you money. They're not creating a return. They're not paying dividends. It's just for show.
A Chanel bag can be a great investment.
You always tell me that, but is it actually paying you dividends?
I mean, if you sell it.
If you sell it, and if you compare that to something else that we did, I bet you it doesn't add up.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't want to say like, oh, you should never have nice things, because I think that stuff can be important, because it's, kind of rewarding yourself or feeling good about the accomplishments that you've had. But if you're putting your purchases on a credit card to be able to look the part, you should probably rethink that strategy. Right. We had this percentage thing that we talked about in one of the earlier episodes, like how much, as a rule of thumb, how much we spend on those type of items as a percentage of your income or your net worth, to kind of help manage that and make sure you're living within your means and still being able to reward yourself for this stuff, but not going overboard.
Right.
For example, I have this watch that I really, really want to get, and the longer I wait, the more expensive it gets. So it keeps it's like the carrot on the string. It keeps outrunning me. But when I first saw this, when it first came out, it's a Omega Speedmaster. It's the called the Dark Side of the Moon, and it's super cool. But it's not flashy. I don't like flashy things. So
Every time you say that, I think of Mulan.
I don't know why you think that.
There's a song.
Oh, so this watch is like, it's all blacked out, and it's got like this fabric band, and it's nothing fancy. Like if you saw it, it doesn't look like a Rolex. It doesn't look like an expensive watch. It was about $10,000 when it first came out. When I first saw it and liked it, it's closer to $14,000 now. But the rule on a watch for me is 1% of our annual income, and we haven't made $1 million in a year yet. Now we got to make $1.4 million a year to get this watch.
Yes.
So we'll see. We'll see if we can catch up to it. But if I'm ever wearing this watch, it means I had a really good year. But it's not like if somebody made $1.4 million, they'd probably go spend a couple $100,000 on a watch. I'm still only spending $14,000 on a watch. That, for me,
But you're also like the least flashy person too.
Yeah, so
like
for
you
me,
said,
the flashy thing's not.
For you, it's like, it might be a nice watch, but it's not overly.
I don't want people to see this watch and be like, and know that it's an expensive watch.
Yeah.
And again, it's not that expensive a watch. It's not a $200,000 watch, but I don't want that $200,000 watch that people see and like, oh, whoa, he's got a $200,000 watch.
Yeah.
That's money. Like, I don't want people to know. I want to be the millionaire next door that nobody knows is a millionaire.
Except we have a podcast about being broke millionaires.
So. We tell everybody, hey, we're millionaires, but we're also broke.
Exactly.
And they're like, oh, I don't want that. Why would you?
It's true.
Yeah.
Probably scaring a lot of people of what not to do.
Yes. All right. What's another thing to talk about? Okay. So, here's a good one. No parental economic outpatient care. It's a weird way of putting it.
I'm sorry. You're going to have to explain this one.
This might have been AI that put these together from the book, but these are the 7 values. So basically, they didn't get money from their parents. So their parents did not provide significant financial support or encouragement in becoming self-reliant. So they didn't really, they're self-made millionaires. They didn't get this from their parents. They didn't have money to start with. It was something that they went out on their own and started a business, bought assets, whatever, and were able to figure it out on their own.
Yeah.
That's not something that we had from family. We didn't have, down payment assistance or
starter
cash
money. For our first house.
Yeah. And I wouldn't say that we didn't have encouragement, but I don't think we really had, I guess didn't really get any encouragement from my family for building wealth or doing anything. Maybe a little bit from my dad when I first started when I was 18, but that's about it.
Yeah. It kind of goes into being self-sufficient adult children, right?
I would say we're adult children. That's almost like an oxymoron.
I know.
Adult children. So that's more like, I think, raising your kids up. So these millionaires teach their children to be financially independent rather than providing ongoing support. So instead of enabling your children and just once you have money, just giving them money and supporting everything, they teach their kids how to be financially independent.
I mean, that's something we're doing with the kids now, like having them understand, a hot chocolate at the little coffee shop on Balboa Island starts to add up. And if they want that, then they have to use their allowance money, their lemonade money. Not to say always, like I definitely buy them their hot chocolates from time to time, but that's not an every time we go down there thing like it was for a while. And they're starting to understand the value of, they'll say like they want this new toy. And they're like, oh, mommy, can we have a lemonade stand so we can buy this new toy? And I like that they're understanding that and
they're
not
starting
just
to like clean up and earn their allowance and starting to understand the concept of trading time and work for money.
They don't fully understand it though, because they were trying to trade you 2 quarters for a $2 bill the other day.
Yeah,
so they don't understand the value of the dollar.
Coins are cool, and so
coins are more valuable than
they think a quarter is cooler than a $2 bill, and so I told them I'd give them a quarter. I actually told Becky, I was like, I'll give you 2 quarters for your $2 bill. You give me just one piece of paper, I'll give you 2 coins. He's like, yes.
They also don't understand that the dollar bills, they're all not just $1 bills. Like they just look at them and they're like, yeah. I don't know.
So we haven't fully got there yet. But they understand why they know that we own these houses and have multiple houses, and they know that we fix them up all nice so that we can rent them for money. Because like Braxton will always say that, like, why is somebody moving in here? Is it so they can pay us money? I'm like, yes, that's exactly why.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, so we can have money to buy food and pay for other things. I'm like, yeah, that's right.
Yep.
So they're understanding like why we're building this, and that's how we're becoming financially independent is through these properties and our investments.
Hey guys, if you're finding value or just want to follow along on our journey, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. That would help us tremendously. You can also follow us on Instagram at The Broke Millionaires and be sure to share with your friends. Now let's get back to the show.
So another thing is that these people tend to be proficient in targeting market opportunities. So they adapt at identifying and capitalizing on market opportunities, whether that may be something in the stock market, a business opportunity. For us, it's usually real estate opportunities. So just being able to identify those opportunities and take advantage of them and jump on them. A lot of people may be able to identify those opportunities, but then they like overanalyze, or they get, they say it's a paralysis analysis and don't actually take action and buy the property, or take on that investment, or start that business. Like the opportunity's in front of you, people are scared to take it sometimes, and you miss that opportunity and it's gone, and then you're just stuck where you were and never get ahead.
And I've had that happen.
Yeah, all your app ideas that you...
I know, all of them.
Yeah.
So annoying. Should have just done it.
And it was probably some 12-year-old that just programmed it and...
Don't remind me.
Now.
Don't remind me. It's so annoying.
Yeah. All right. And then one of the last things they found to be a common trait among these millionaires is that they tend to choose the right occupation. So they tend to gravitate towards careers that offer opportunities for wealth accumulation, often in fields of business ownership and specialized professions, real estate or whatever that may be, where they're around that and able to invest in what they're doing personally as well. Part of that is just identifying what you're good at and kind of building a business around that trait that whether it's something you went to school for, or a trait that you learned, or something you're passionate about. But instead of just having a job where you just go to the 9 to 5 to get a paycheck, like these people are building or taking on careers with something that has an opportunity for them to expand and to invest and grow their wealth in that. For us, it's obviously real estate. It's not my day job. My day job is printing, but I'm not really building wealth from that. Although I am using the profit that the company generates, not so much right now, but typically to build wealth through the 401k. I max out the 401k through that, and then roll that over into real estate. So, I'm leveraging that to build wealth. But at the end of the day, it's just a day job for me.
Yeah,
it hasn't really built up to where it runs itself. It's a hard business to get to run itself. I've tried, and it's difficult.
Yeah.
So I got a few more years left. We'll see. I either find, people to bring on, whether it's a partner or somebody just to run it, or I end up selling it. I don't know. We'll see as the market comes back around and builds back up. That'll be a decision I'm gonna have to figure out in the next few years. But
Yeah.
I can't keep doing this, raising a family and taking on all the real estate. It's just getting to be a lot. So,
I'm glad you know that and I don't have to say it.
yeah, these long days are getting old, but I mean, until the real estate builds up enough to replace the income, just kind of stuck. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I can identify the opportunity, take advantage of it.
I think you know what the opportunity is, just a matter of...
I have no idea what the opportunity is. It's not something, and I don't think it's something that makes sense to sell, because it's the type of business is...
Yeah,
it's
it's
hard
true.
to sell. It's not something you can just sell and make a bunch. I'm not going to be able to sell a 7-figure
book of business.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a 7-figure book of business, but I'm not going to be able to get 7 figures for
Right.
it. So it's not that type of business. It's a little more complicated than that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what the exit ends up looking like.
So is this so this is where we differ, where I like to have all these everything planned out, but like you started this business with not a clear exit strategy, would you say?
Well, no, I did have an exit strategy, and the plan was to operate it for 10 years, build it up to a $10 million business, and then one of two exits, either sell or hire somebody to take on operations, which is still the exit.
Still the exit strategy.
Just, as it was building up, it kind of plateaued and then went backwards when the economy turned. So it never really
got to 10 million.
So we'll see. I mean, the exit's still the same. It needs to build back up and be a little more valuable before I exit. Either way, whether it's hiring somebody else to run it and just continue to own it, or to just sell and exit that way. But either way, I physically am going to have to exit the operations at some point.
Yes.
So we will see when that time comes and what that decision looks like.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all I got. Those are the 7 traits. So this book is called The Millionaire Next Door. It's the Surprising Secrets of America's Wealthy. I know they've rewritten this more recently.
I was going to say, it might be worth a read now.
It's kind of been updated, I think. At least, maybe not the book, but the preface, to kind of like for today's time. And again, a millionaire is not a millionaire is not what a billionaire was in 1998, but the concepts are still the same. So, you could call it a billionaire or a multi-millionaire. Maybe a 10 millionaire would be is that a decamillionaire?
I don't know. Is that what it's called?
Decamillionaire.
Oh, I've actually never heard that.
Decamillionaire, or an 8-figure net worth.
Yeah.
But it's, I think when I first read that, it kind of gave me a different outlook or a different concept of what it meant to be a millionaire. Because, growing up, you always just think of millionaires like, oh, they got all this money. A millionaire is somebody that's flying private and all this.
Yeah.
And like, you get to a million, you're like, no, it's none of that.
No. Well, especially now, like you said, maybe in the late 90s, a little different, but yeah, right now, no.
Yeah. But I think also it even in the late 90s, like, I think it depends on the type of person. Like, are you making $1 million and spending $1 million, or did you build up $1 million net worth and you're just continuing to build and staying frugal,
right?
And continuing to work on building that to become financially independent to a point where you can do whatever you want. And even when inflation occurs, you're still building wealth to keep up with that. So your lifestyle doesn't have to change at that point. And I think that's kind of like what we're striving for and just trying to get to that point. I think I've said this before. I think our initial number where we can kind of like not hit the brakes, but kind of let off the gas a little bit, is going to be about 10 million. So Decamillionaire. That I think is going to be, in today's economy, I think that when you hit 10 million net worth, I think that kind of changes. I think that's life changing. I think.
When did you have to increase to 10 million?
It's always been 10 million.
It was always 10?
Well, when I was a little kid, it was a millionaire, but.
No, but like the way things have changed just in the last like 10, 15 years, Is 10 million still, you think, the number?
Yeah, I think 10 million is still a significant amount.
Will it be the number by the time we get to 10 million?
That's a good question. I don't know. But it's not like we're going to stop.
Will we get to 10 million and we're like, oh, well, that was anticlimactic.
And that may be the case. Then we just keep,
Yeah.
kind of like when we hit 1 million, it was
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, wow, we're still broke or we're still struggling. We're still
Still,
trying to
that
figure it
didn't
out.
change
Like,
anything.
nothing changed. It's just like the number on paper just changed.
No.
But I think that, and I've read a lot of articles and talked to other people, like 10 million is still something that people
strive for
and see as a milestone that like is life-changing and things are different.
Yeah.
At that point, like you get to 10 million, you can stop working and not change your lifestyle.
Yeah.
You can't blow your money because 10 million is still not a lot and it'll change pretty quick, or you can blow through it pretty quick. But if you're frugal or if you're living below your means, at that point, you could live on 10 million and have it regenerating by and continue to build wealth and use the returns that you're taking off of it to live off of without losing money.
Yeah.
So I think that's a pretty good number to strive for. I mean, doesn't mean you stop there, but once you get there, it's kind of like, okay, now we're like financially independent. Now we're just building to continue to build towards whatever our next goal may be. But at least now our fallback is we're okay, not bankrupt.
Right.
So I think you're kind of like past that point.
Right.
I think this was Grant Cardone that posted this the other day. This is a really interesting way of looking at it. Just showing the difference between like 1 million and 1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
So relating it to a millionaire and a billionaire, said, I think it was 1 million minutes is 30 days.
Okay.
Or something like that. I had to look at the numbers and see. I should have looked this up before we started the show. It was like 1 million minutes is 30 days, but 1 billion minutes is 30 years. It shows you how vast of a difference.
Okay.
Like, just shows you that 1 million's not really that much.
Yeah.
When you don't have it, it seems like a lot.
Right.
But when you get it, you realize it's really not that much.
Yeah.
So never always shoot for the stars, and you land on the moon. That's okay.
Yeah.
But at least you got that far.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, this book, we didn't quite go over it. So the book is called The Millionaire Next Door, Surprising Secrets of America's Wealthy, originally written in 1998. And I think it was about, I don't know, like 7 or 8 years ago, they redid it a little bit, but it's by 2 authors. It's Thomas J. Stanley and William D. Danko.
Okay.
And they've got Audible. I think I did the Audible, but actually I think I've got both. I think I've got the paperback and the Audible. But even though it was written 30 years ago, it's still a good read, just kind of getting your mind set in that living below your means and being frugal. This reminds me of somebody, Woody's Wharf. There's a bar in Newport Beach. And when I first moved down here, we'd go down there every weekend. And there was this bouncer. I don't know if I haven't been there in a long time.
Oh my gosh, I do not know the last
But there was this
Woody's.
bouncer that worked there, and he was like kind of an older gentleman and was retired and just did this.
He was a bouncer?
Yeah, he was a bouncer. He was the guy that checked the IDs. And he was working the door.
Not the guy when I was going to Woody's. I was not who was checking the ID.
How do you know?
Because I know oh yeah, it cannot be the same person. I don't know.
So,
okay.
Anyway, this guy was checking IDs, and you just thought that maybe he was just stuck, didn't have any money built up, and he was older, working the door because that's what he got stuck doing. But he literally did this for fun, and it was kind of known that he was a self-made millionaire. I don't know what he did to get there, but it was this guy that you would never.
He wasn't the owner?
No.
Okay.
No, he was a bouncer checking IDs.
Like, how old was he?
I don't know.
Was it G? Oh, it's not G.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, he wasn't that old.
I don't know.
Okay, we'll have to figure this out.
I mean, this is 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But it was like the Millionaire Next Door, and some of the people knew, because I think some of the guys had talked, like some of my buddies had talked to him to find out his story or whatever, just to shoot and just talk and whatever. And I think maybe he sold a business or something. I don't remember how he made his money.
Yeah.
But he was a millionaire. Just like, I'm just doing this because I'm bored. Okay.
Dang.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Bouncer at Woody's. Oh man, some fun nights at Woody's.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Anything else to add? You're still awake.
I am still awake.
The coffee's working.
It worked. We'll see if I can actually go to bed now. I don't know. I hopefully didn't wire me too much. I mean, still have a baby to feed and all the things to do. So,
I got a lot of work to do tonight.
I mean, I'm just gonna give my usual spiel at the end. We would love any reviews, any if you know of any we need some reviews. If you know of anyone that would be a great guest on the show.
Yes.
We're going to be ramping back up on the interviews pretty quick here. I think we're getting to a point where we can kind of slowly start getting a bit of more of a schedule. New 5-week-old. We're starting to kind of understand his sleep patterns a little bit more. Hopefully I say that and then everything's going to get turned upside down. But we're ready to get back in interviews. Not that I don't love doing this with just you, but we're running out of topics to talk about.
We've been doing pretty good.
We have actually.
We still have some up our sleeve, but it's nice to get other perspectives and other people, like what they're doing and work that in. So,
and with that too, if there's any topics you want to hear more about, something we've talked about in the past or questions, I think that that's a good opportunity too to kind of talk about the things you guys want to hear too.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for tonight.
All right.
Get out there and make it happen.
Thanks for listening. This has been a production of Rebuilding the Dream Studios.